Hello everyone, welcome to Powerline, and I am excited to bring you today a Musketeer deck profile. Super excited. I even got special sleeves. Special sleeves for this. They're, the new support is amazing. There are some things that could have been better, but for the most part, I am not mad. I am not mad at all. This has been nothing but fun for me, and I hope that I hope more Musketeer stuff comes out. To be honest, I really do, because the clan plays so much differently than all the others, or the build, I should say. The build plays so much differently than the others. So without further ado, guys, I'm gonna show you my Musketeer build. Please leave it in the comment section below if you have any other ideas or questions about it. I'm not saying that I'm a Musketeer aficionado, but I can teach a class. So without further ado, starting from the top of the lineup, starter is my Blue Eyes White Musketeer, Maylin. She is amazing. She reminds me of the Legion starter. She's pretty much a Legion starter, except she just she replaces herself, and there's a copy of another card on the field. That card gets plus 3k. So it's amazing. I really do like the starter. It's been much needed. Rest in peace, Broccolini Musketeer. You have put in literally the finest of work. I have been running you in Stride format for God knows how long. So she needs a shout out. Let's give her a crown. She has been holding it down. So top of the lineup again, from the grade 3s, I'm running 4 of the Heartbreak and 4 of the Avera. So Miarita, she's awesome. Miarita is awesome. For her first ability at Generation Break 1, at the end of your turn, choose 2 normal units with Musketeer in their name from your drop zone and put them on the bottom of your deck in any order. This is great. It keeps you having units in your deck, especially at the end of your turn. I think it should have been busted, and it should have been 1 normal unit and 1 trigger unit. I'm just saying. Or even if I can be as bold and said just 1 card, and you could choose any card. If I can be bold. Her second ability is when a Musketeer unit strides in this card, I choose one of my Vanguards and it gets Act Red Text. Because you have to say that because some people don't know. Counterblast 1, choose one of your Rearguard Musketeers in its name and retire it, and you look at the top 4 cards and choose 2 Musketeers out of them, call them to Rearguards, the rest go to the drop zone. So that's the only downside, is they go to the drop zone and they don't head to the field. They don't head back to the deck. But you don't really care, you're Musketeers. So the downside is if you have a handful of triggers, you get 2 triggers and everything goes to the drop zone, as opposed to all the older stuff which just went back into the deck. So that's the only downside. That's the only reason why I would think the top ability should have been 1 trigger unit and 1 normal unit. Only because of the bottom bit, but whatever. Anyways, backup is Vera, because you want a good plan B in case something went wrong. And Vera has been holding this down for years for people playing Musketeers in Stride format. She is excellent. She has a bottom ability where you sack a Musketeer, check top 5 to call a Musketeer to the field, and when she legions with her buddy Vera or Saul, all Musketeers gain plus 3k. So 2 on the Vanguard and 1 behind, so that's 26 plus whoever is behind her. So she's an excellent backup Vanguard, and especially for someone like me who, in order to play the format, I would go crazy on sacrificing all my Musketeers to thin out my deck as much as possible, so I leave mostly triggers and Legion back to triggers. So when I attack you, it would be literally a 75 to 90% chance that I'm double triggering you. So she's been holding it down. I on the thumbnail, I know it shows Cecilia, but at the last minute, I was like, I don't need Cecilia. I don't need a 10k base. She doesn't need to be the alternate Vanguard. And I'll explain why later. Let us keep this because show off that sweet, sweet background. For my grade 2 units, let's start things off. I'm running 2 Saul. No one cares about Saul. 4 of the new art Sylvias, I'm almost indifferent to her. Not to her, but the card art. I'm not sure if I like it more than the old one. I'm still filling it out. She's great. She is literally one of the heart and soul of the deck because she enables you to actually plus outside of the strides and the heartbreak. I know she's a 7k, but it's okay. When she's on the Vanguard or Rear Guard, you check top card of your deck for a Musketeer, and use superior color to the field. Since your whole deck should be Musketeers, and I said it should, you get a free +1. What I've been seeing with Sylvia, and you guys can put in the comment section below, she has a tendency to call heal triggers or perfect guards. Leave in the comment section below if it's ever happened to you. My buddy Falcon is playing this deck as well, and he's having the same problem where she keeps calling heal triggers and critical and perfect guards. So we put in non-musketeer heal triggers so she couldn't call them, which is inherently a bad move because now you're not getting the free +1. Next, I'm running 2 Kyvans. If I wasn't running Saul, I'd be running 4 of it. This is one of the engines of the deck. When it enters the battlefield on Vanguard or Rear Guard, you can counter +1, sack a Musketeer on the Rear Guard, check top 4 for a Musketeer, and call it to the field. The rest go to shuffle into the deck. Excellent card. And lastly, for the grade 2 units, because you're not running the 12k tacky anymore, you're running Tessa. And she's beautiful, and she's amazing, and enables plays, and her power gets out of control. So let's just grab her here for you guys. On Vanguard or Rear Guard, when your other Musketeer unit in its card name is placed on the Rear Guard, if you have 3 or more other units with Musketeer in their card names, she gets +2k until the end turn. Then if you have face-up card with Musketeer in the G zone, the unit that's placed gets +4k. So she's amazing. So 3 or more other units. Ugh. It's such a hefty cost. So it's pretty much what she's saying is you don't need, you're not counting the unit that was called. So for 3 others, so it would literally, the unit that's placed would have to be the 4th unit. So since there's only 5 slots, so only 4 and 5 get those ability. So she's still really good regardless of how you look at it. You start hitting numbers with her. It is absolutely fantastic. Rest in peace to Augusto. I believe it's Augusto. I am a bad Musketeer player. Yeah, rest in peace to Augusto. 12k attacker, has been putting the work with with Merca for the absolute longest. Grade 1 units. I'm running 4 Rebeccas. 4 Rebeccas, just like Kyvan, same ability. She is absolutely fantastic. I love her to pieces. My favorite card in all of Musketeers is Antonio. He is the reason why I actually wanted to make the deck. You don't get much more handsomer than him. I was running Mercas, but I swapped out the Mercas, not for Ruth's, because why not attack? And she's pretty. Merca, the problem I had with Merca was I couldn't the way that the deck is right now, usually I'm paired with Augusto, and Augusto was a 12k attacker, so pull a 12k attacker with a 9k boost and makes a 21k column line. I'm not hitting those lines anymore, to be honest, and so I'd rather just run a 10k attacker. And lastly, I'm running 3 Musketeer alternate stride enablers. I'm gonna put it somewhere like here for you guys, but I actually, if I can rant just for a hot second, I actually don't like this card. I don't like its ability, how I need to be in Generation Break 1 in order to use her ability. So I have to either A, struggle stride, or B, I have to get rid of one of my grade 3s, which normally isn't an issue. So I really shouldn't be complaining about that, because as Musketeers we're used to doing that. But there was another, like, alright, so Dudley's also got this stride enabler, and I guess it works for them. But for this girl, the way that the deck goes is we're cycling out our rear guards so fast that to keep an actual card on the board is kind of counterproductive. Like, she is the one card that I'm not touching, and I'm going to have to be sacrificing everything else. You know, but I don't want to sacrifice Tessa. You know, there are other cards that I can't really sacrifice. And I wouldn't sacrifice Tessa unless I absolutely had to. So, for me to have to, like, she needs to stay on board, kind of kills. On top of that, I'm literally telling my play to my opponent, like, here's my stride enabler. You kill this one, and I won't be able to stride for free next turn. I'm going to have to pay for my hand. Especially if they already know my drive check. Like, this is telegraphing my plays. And how many, like, I shouldn't have to telegraph my plays. That's why I find this card to be bad. Because I shouldn't have to telegraph my plays. So I think what they should have did, and it did it with Maiden of, and I guess the reason I didn't do it again because it's broken, but they gave it to Royal Paladins. Go figure. Is this one Maiden of Rambler? So in your hand, if you have when you use this for the cost for stride, I'll leave this down so you guys can try to zoom in, or I'll even put a picture on it to the side over it to give you guys a better view. How can I pick up like 6 of them? All right. So in your hand, when you're paying for the cost of stride, if you have a Maiden of Vanguard, this unit gets plus grade 1, so it becomes a grade 2 in hand. And then when it's put into the drop zone at the cost of a stride, and you have a Maiden of Vanguard, you can call that card to the rear guard, and you can draw a card. So not only does the card come back, but you draw a card. You effectively plus so hard from this one card. It is absolutely disgusting. And this is what that should have been. Or some form of this. I shouldn't have to telegraph my plays. And I think that's the biggest gripe that I have with that card, is I have to telegraph my plays. And because we're in a format where I'm striding so much, like, this becomes the prime target of any of the control decks. And that's my gripe. And unfortunately, this is going to make my video last a little bit longer, so I'm going to cut everything short. But I have to say that I'm telegraphing my plays. And that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to say any more on that. I don't like that card. Grade 0 units. Four draws, 4 heals, 8 crits. I went back to the basic standard format for it, on the grounds that I'd like to just get more cards back in my hands. I was playing a more aggressive build, but I found the draw triggers to just be super, super helpful. And this dude is handsome as nuts. This dude is super handsome. And of course, you got to keep the Night Queen Elaine when he's superior called from the deck by a Musketeer ability. I can countercharge too, and she's not Hannah. I hated Hannah. I did not like the way Hannah looked. And I know the new critical trigger was out, but you can't replace the Night Queen. You really can't. G Unit. G Gardens is basic. Rain Breath Dragons. This allows me to make plays on my opponent's turn. So I G Guard with it, and I throw a card onto the field of my hand. If it is a Rebecca, that is great because I can, or Rebecca or Kyvan, I can I can retire the unit that's being attacked myself and get a new card out, ultimately denying their attack, especially if they have on-head abilities. If I need to boost the power of like a Tessa because she's in the front row, I can do that as well. Or I can call a Sylvia, get a free card, and intercept with Sylvia. I got one Dismal to protect myself from Narukami because they're jerks. And I got a Screw in case if I need some extra power. I'm running 4 Asha because she's still a fantastic card. Although it'll be a little bit weird trying to have 2 cards with the same name, but if she's a second stride, I'll be able to clone a card, so it's not that difficult. For Myra's, she's the heart and soul of the deck, but she's at Generation Break 2. She helps a lot. Helps very much, and she helps gets numbers. You always want to have at least 4 or 5 units on the board in order to give them 8,000 or 10,000. One of the two. 8,000, 10,000, or 200? Yeah, 8,000 or 10,000. Lastly, the other two, I'm running 2 Cecilias. And the reason why I'm running 2 Cecilias is to match the Myras. So if I'm on the grade 3, okay, so it's weird. So let's take these 2 right here real quick. So if I'm on Miorita and I stride Cecilia, I still get the Heartbreak. And so it's great. I just need the name, right? Because I don't want to first stride her. But the problem is, if I'm on Vera, I can't stride here because I get nothing. So my alternate first stride is actually Booty Princess, Verano. So if I have the first stride, I go here, and I still get her ability. So that's what I need. I had an initial build, and I didn't like it because I wasn't, like, there were certain cards I just wasn't going to run. But I think this is the proper build for it. Because, again, if I'm on her and my first stride, I go into her. If I'm on this one, my first stride is going to her. So now I have plays and options. And then after that, if I'm still on her, no matter who I go into, I can flip this copy up over and still meet all the conditions. So guys, that's my Musketeer build. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave it in the comment section below. Let me see what your build are. Tell me what you think. And again, sorry for the rant, but that's just really how I felt about that one Stride Enabler S card. But guys, have a great day and be well.